You know what nobody tells you about pain? It does not only break people, sometimes it builds them, quietly, invisibly, into something most people spend their entire lives trying to become. Some of the sharpest, most emotionally intelligent people you will ever meet did not develop that way through books or therapy or self-improvement programs. They developed that way because their environment gave them no other choice. Their nervous system was trained early, not by design, but by necessity, to read people, sense danger, and understand things that most people never even notice. Psychologists have a name for this now. They call it traumatic intelligence. And if you have never heard of it before, that is exactly why you need to keep watching. Because what was done to you may have also done something for you, and understanding that changes everything. Sign 1. You read rooms that haven't spoken yet. You walk into a space and something in you immediately activates. Not fear exactly, more like a quiet radar switching on. You sense the tension between two people before either of them has said a word. You catch the micro-expression that crossed someone's face for less than a second before they replaced it with a smile. This is not intuition in the mystical sense. It is pattern recognition, built through years of needing to know what was coming before it arrived. Your brain learned to scan emotional environments the way other people scan for exits in a building, automatically, constantly, and with extraordinary accuracy. Sign 2. You feel what people are hiding before they tell you. Someone says they are fine, and something in you already knows they are not. Not because you are psychic, because you have spent years learning to read the gap between what people say and what their body, their voice, and their energy are actually communicating. Psychologists call this hyperempathy, and it develops in people who grew up needing to track the emotional states of the people around them just to feel safe. You did not learn to feel others because it was a gift. You learned because your survival sometimes depended on it. Sign 3. Pressure does not break you. It focuses you. When everything around you is falling apart, something unexpected happens inside you. You go quiet, strategic. The chaos that shuts other people down seems to activate something in you that sharpens your thinking and steadies your hands. Researchers call this stress inoculation. When your nervous system is trained in high-stakes environments from an early age, it stops treating emergencies as exceptions. It treats them as familiar territory. You do not panic in a crisis because a part of you has always been living in one. What other people experience as overwhelming, you experience as a problem that needs to be solved. And you get to work. Sign 4. You think about human behavior the way other people think about breathing. You replay conversations, you analyze motivations. You notice the small inconsistency in what someone said 3 weeks ago and what they are saying now. You think about why people do what they do almost compulsively, not because you are suspicious, but because understanding people was once the most important skill you had. You became a student of human nature, not out of curiosity, but out of necessity. And the result is a depth of psychological understanding that most people never develop. A quiet ability to see people clearly, sometimes more clearly than they see themselves. Sign 5. You built yourself because you had to. You do not wait to be rescued. You do not spend much time hoping someone will come through. Somewhere along the way, you learned that the most reliable person in any situation was you. And so you became someone worth relying on. Psychologists describe this as internalized resourcefulness. When childhood environments were unpredictable or unsupportive, the brain learned to generate stability from within rather than waiting for it from outside. Dependence felt risky, so competence became the default. That quiet self-sufficiency that people admire in you did not come from confidence. It came from necessity, and it became one of the most enduring things about you. Sign 6. You feel everything at a frequency most people cannot access. A piece of music catches you off guard, and suddenly you are somewhere else entirely. An injustice you read about in a headline stays with you for days. A small act of kindness from a stranger can genuinely move you to the edge of tears. Neuroscience explains this. The amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center, becomes highly sensitized through repeated emotional activation. And the result is a person who does not just experience the world, they absorb it. Every conversation, every piece of art, every moment of beauty or cruelty lands differently for you than it does for other people. That depth is not weakness. It is what makes you one of the most fully alive people in any room. Sign 7. Your trust is rare, but when it exists, it is unbreakable. You do not give trust easily, not because you are cold or guarded for no reason, but because your brain built filters, careful, calibrated filters. After learning early that not every signal of safety was genuine, psychologists call this adaptive skepticism, and it is exactly what it sounds like. A skepticism that adapted to protect you. But here is what most people never see. When someone earns their way past those filters, when you decide slowly and carefully that someone is safe, what you give them is something most people never experience on the receiving end. A loyalty so complete, a presence so genuine, a connection so deeply rooted that it does not shake when things get hard. You do not trust easily, but you love profoundly. And that combination is one of the rarest things in the world. Here is what I want you to understand about all of this. These abilities, the emotional radar, the calm under pressure, the depth of feeling, the unbreakable loyalty, they were not given to you as gifts. They were forged by difficult things, by environments that asked too much of you too soon. But they are yours now, completely and permanently yours. And the fact that you carry them so quietly without ever asking for recognition, that might be the most extraordinary thing about you of all. If this described you, tell me in the comments one word for what you felt reading this. Just one word. That is enough. And if you want more psychology that sees the parts of you that most people miss, subscribe to Psychology Unpacked. Understanding yourself starts here.